let's have a look at the new Blu-rays coming out. Pocket Mags, or came out. Again, so jealous of Dan. He's got his already. I don't think he's opened the package yet. Oh, you slut, Dan. You dirty little slut. You were just teasing me, and you love it. Oh, come on, open up. There you go. Doink, doink, doink. Spearhead from space. So let's see what we got here. So I'm very attached to season says Pete Mateek. Pete Mateek is very good doing this job, right? I really wish he was brought into Doctor Who during the Moffat years, because I think he would have done much better. I really wish that instead of Chris Chibnall, we had what's his name? The guy from Being Human. Oh, can't remember. Yeah, I wish he was around in a better era of Doctor Who. I was brought up in the UK in the late 80s and we moved to Australia. I hated the idea and I was very miserable when I saw a TV guide on first week. The entire run of John Pertwee was about to be shown from the beginning. The only archive repeats seen happened to them were the Five Faces of Doctor Who and Doctor Who and Monsters. They were great. Oh, man, I love those in the summer of 81 and 82. So I felt like Christmas. I was glued to season 7 repeats. In Australia, it felt magical. I couldn't believe how different it was to the 1980s. Totally, it was so tough, grounded, and real. Yes, very gritty. I agree with you. The 4 stories that comprise of season 7 produced against a background of industrial action, change in producer, and serious script problems, mostly on Ambassador Death. I didn't know that. And yet, John Pertwee's first season as the Doctor is arguably his finest. Sometimes I think his best work comes out of adversity. I think so. Listen, I preferred the next season and the one after that. I definitely, but I think his performance here was excellent. I mean, he was great, pretty much. I don't know. He took a space. It took a little bit of time to ease into the role. But by the time he was in the Silurians, right, he knew exactly what he was doing. And yet, John Pertwee, sometimes I think it best works, says Pete. It was such a radical shift for the show to come down to earth, and I think it forced everyone, including the writers, to think differently about the characters. That is fair. What they produced just felt right for the era. There's something very filmic about season 7. Well, they did the first story on film. There was literally Spirit feels like an episode of ITV of the Avengers or an ITC show. Okay, Pete, I'm on board with you, mate. I'm on board with you. And honestly, if you ever see season 25, his re-edits are awesome, right? His special edition of Happiness Patrol is superb, absolutely superb. The omnibus edition of Silver Nemesis, which is a shit story on TV, is watchable. Amazing. I know. I don't know how you do it, but he did it. As usual, the sound restoration was entrusted to audio engineer Mark Ayres. I think the episodes of this season now sound an awful lot better than they did on the DVD and Blu-ray Thing is, I will never really know because I'm not going to listen to them back to back. Even though, and I have the annoying thing is I have all of those. I bought how many? I bought it on VHS, I bought it on DVD, I bought it on Blu-ray, and now I'm about to buy it again on Blu-ray. I have bought it. They've already taken the money. Right, it's being shipped. Even though in many cases they've been restored from the same source. This is because 20 years later, the technology has improved and I'm so much better at my job. Yeah, I believe that. One particular problem in the soundtrack experience in place was bugged this viewer ever since first on VHS. Wait, who wrote this article? Marcus Hearn. Okay, Marcus will pay attention to these things. I'm intrigued. Mark is happy to report that finally the scenes in the first day when the Brigadier, Nicholas Courtney, first meets Liz, Caroline, John, were shot on location and were incredibly echoey. For some reason, the microphones just don't seem anywhere near the actors. Now, however, we have technology to fix that. So, I'm very happy about it. I know exactly what they're talking about. So it sounds like they're in a proper office as opposed to some kind of bunker. Visual restoration was undertaken by Peter Croker. I I don't think this story really needed new effects. There wasn't many like effects going on in it. What I really wish they added as an extra. Oh man, I wish they made a deal with was it Real Time or BBV to add in the Alton their Alton trilogy, right? Because it really does very much tie into this. I really like those direct-to-video productions. The Blu-ray is done by we've tied up a few things that can be fixed on the Blu-ray in 2013. But that's a long time ago. That Blu-ray was done by BBC post-production. They did a good job, but they weren't quite as exhaustive as they could have been. For this reason, I went back to the mast and had some additional work, moving gate hairs, and they come to the edge of the picture, particularly at the top of the bottom. Okay, so they cleaned up. In 2013, the room did exist, but it would have been expensive and difficult. Now it's a phone app. 23 Blu-ray has a good cleanup. You'll be paying very close attention to the major difference between that and this release. No, I won't be paying any attention at all. Okay, no. There's also probably about an extra 130,000 frames of film across all 4 episodes, and throughout all of that, we've removed 500 bits of dirt and sparkle. Oh, okay. The special features of Spearhead Space Disc include intriguing glimpse of a reunion that took place in the early days of DVD range in 2000. DVD range. In 2000, I produced Spearhead audio commentary with Nicholas Courtney, Caroline John, and I had a new camera, so we tested it for use on the daytime show. So I brought it with me. I was with Richard Molesworth as he shot using the camera. It's only a short, but it's nice seeing Nick and Caroline actually working. Oh, I love it. They're on, what was it? It's a Troughton release, Seeds of Death. You actually have an in-vision commentary with Terrence Dix and Fraser Hines. It's great. That's really great. I strong recommend. It concludes with the power going out because someone accidentally cut through the cable. Shepherd's Bush. The BBC switched to their generators because they were still on air at the time, but the generators caught fire and the fire brigade had to evacuate the building. Okay. So let's have a look what they got in there. So we have Spirit of Space, all 4 episodes in HD. Audio comedy with Caroline John. Another audio comedy with Derek Sherman, Terrence Dix. The Dandy and the Clown, John Pope, that came from the Spearhead Blu-ray release. Down to Earth, another one from the Spearhead Blu-ray release. Regenerations from Black and White to Color documentary. I think it was on the DVD. Title sequence, color test, restoration comparison from the. Okay, that'd be interesting. And but PDF stuff I don't care about. I never look at commentary behind the scenes with Caroline John. Oh yeah, that's what we just talked about. Derek Martin's audio interview. It's not that much going on there. So they got behind the sofa with Daisy Ashford, Jeffrey Beavers, Janet Fielding, Toby Adoki, Katie Manning, Sarah Sutton, and Matthew Waterhouse. So Katie Manning and Matthew Waterhouse will be together. They're a great combination. They were great on the season 25 Blu-ray because they really work straightly well together. I guess. Do you think Sophie Daisy Ashford and Jeffrey Beavers will be another one, and Sarah Sutton and Janet Fielding will be another one? Well, who's Toby Hadoke with? Toby Hadoke is with. Oh, so that's what was it? Jeffrey Beavers and Daisy Ashford. Daisy Ashford is Caroline John's daughter, who now also plays Liz. Yeah, a real problem I have with Liz Shaw on the thumbnails is she's not that hot. Hate to tell you. Doctor Who and the Silurians. Fine. So what are they going to tell us about this? Having been shot on film, Spirit of Space was the only story of season 7 to entirely dodge the BBC archive purges of the 1970s. The rest of the season was predominantly recorded on videotape and wasn't so lucky. The previous restoration of the... I'm not going to say Doctor Who and the Silurians. I mean, I just did. But the Silurians. Superimposed color from a 77 NTSC release. It's so clever the way they did it onto a 60-minute black and white film copy that was made for foreign broadcasters. That film is still the basis for this restoration, but I bet they can extrapolate so much better now. But most of the color comes from judicial application of the chroma dot recovery software. That's brilliant. Okay, all the different grays on screen are made up in black and white, something in color. The black and white is made up of these different dots. And so they have software that analyze the dot pattern to extract the color from it. It's brilliant. Created by Richard Russell. This miraculous process somehow revives the former color from the chroma dots embedded in the black and white film recording. So the chroma dot... come back. Oh, man, I love the Silurians. It's a really great story. I mean, I can't wait to watch it. It's a really great story. I mean, the only thing I wish is they replaced the T-Rex with a CGI T-Rex that looked a bit better. The technology used for color recovery in all 7 episodes, but for some reason that haven't been able to work. It completely failed in episodes 1 and 3. Okay. Even though signal was there embedded in the film, we weren't able to recover any usable color from the black and white prints for those 2 episodes. So we had to go back to the American off-air recording for the color in those 2. Again, I just can't imagine you can't use AI to like really clean that up. But maybe look, this was done in like a year or so ago. Maybe the technology wasn't there then, and this is moving so quickly. Luckily, the first 3 episodes of NCC aren't too bad. I wouldn't call them great, but they're certainly usable. So while it's not true of the later episodes of the Silurians is concerned, the color recovery worked there where we desperately needed to do. Good news. Again, look, these sets are fantastic. I think they're the best bit of Doctor Who going on right now. Right? Autumn Mirabilis is here. Man, you've been awesome on X of late. Right? I recommend a follow of Autumn Mirabilis. It's always interesting what's going on there, right? I really reckon. There's not many Twitter accounts I like, really genuinely like. Thank you for tagging me in the stuff you post. I really genuinely am interested in it. Anyway, where are we up to? The second Silurians disc is packed with new features, including a cut down of the story where the title will be familiar to target novelization. It's called The Cave Monsters. Could be Doctor Who and the Cave Monsters. So it runs at 107 minutes. It's about the length of a 4-parter, says Pete McTeague, who carried out the work himself. So he's, generally speaking, very good at this stuff, right? Very, very good at this stuff. It's really tight and pacey. Well, you know who does stuff like that? What's it called? Cunning Monkey. He has this thing called the Matrix Editions. Let me see if I can... Cunning Monkey. Spelling Cunning Doctor Who. How about that? Dude, Cunning Monkey Doctor Who. No, not Kingmaker. There's 2 N's, maybe. Aha! Look at that. Matrix Editions. All right, so that's basically what these is. Go to Matrix Editions. So does he have? Oh, he hasn't done Spirit from Space. Yeah, but these things are basically like cut down to be like they're much more like modern episodes, and he puts new effects on. Yeah, I'll give you the link. They're very good. The work he does very. Also, I really recommend the 4K project, right, which does fan upscales to 4K. The 96 TV movie looks fantastic, like genuinely fantastic. It's like watching a modern production, whereas watching it, not upscale to 4K, it's really not, right? It's better than the Blu-ray release. Really strong recommend on that. So if you like that sort of thing, that's where you go. Cool. The Cave Monsters is kind of fun. It's really tight and pacey. I think it's a great alternative if you don't feel like you got 3 hours to watch the original. Well, yeah, I spread things out now. Look, I was really surprised, right? Big Finish have a the third Doctor Strange was very good until they had one with Katie Manning as she is now, as playing the age she is now as Jo Jones, and it was just woke shit. So I didn't get the second one. Then somebody shared it with me, and I've been listening to it, and I'm gonna have to buy it because it was really good. And I'm enjoying not rushing it. I'm enjoying listening to an episode or two a day. Right, it's really good, and now I'm probably going to be listening to the Brain Drain as well. And again, if it's as good as this, I'll be buying it. So Malcolm, the writer of the story. Oh, wait a minute, 1 second. Malcolm, the writer of the story. I'm totally lost my place. Where are we? The writer of the Doctor and the Solarians is subject for Looking for Mac, directed by Chris Chapman. Latest contributions to the range. Oh, I bet that's going to be great. Mac also seems to be is this in here? Totally Adoki. Also seems to be everywhere but nowhere, he says Chris. He's someone we think of, we're familiar with, but we decided to dig deep to see who he really was. I'm so up for this. This sounds fantastic, right? These documentaries they put on these things are fantastic. And again, I feel good that I've already bought it and it's already been shipped. He's some who he really was. It's this is definitely the most political documentary we've done, and I'm glad that so many people were prepared to openly discuss Mac's communism. It was a different world back then. He continues. We meet people today who are part of the Communist Party and Mac, and we look at the previous classified documents that reveal his phone being tapped. But even within the communism, I think Mac was quite rebellious. Much like the Doctor, he might align himself with the group, but he wouldn't necessarily adopt all its principles. Much like the Doctor, he was a free spirit. Given that Hook died in 1979, you could be forgiven for thinking that the trails run cold. I bet not. People leave long shadows, right? Against these odds, Looking for Mac is a poignant and detailed explanation. I really like that one they did. Was it Looking for Dursley? The guy from Remembrance of the Daleks, who was essentially the guy It's a Sin was based on. I think Mac was an outsider looking in, says Chris. He had a very disjointed childhood, and it's clear that there was loneliness in his life, but he's never lost his sense of humor and compassion. At the end of the documentary, we replay a famous scene from the one of his documentaries. So hopefully, people will watch the scene and feel slightly different. Okay, that sounds really good. Splendid chap, The Life and Times of Nicholas Corney. Oh, man, more. Pile it all on, baby. Celebrates another mysterious legend, this time the presence of perspective of his longtime friend, Michael McManus. When you say longtime friend and biographer, longtime friend and biographer, not his lover. I'm like, is he gay? I don't know. The Nicholas Doctor Who career has been very well covered elsewhere, where he makes something that's about his personal life and his family history, says Steve, the guy wrote. I really like Nicholas. He was a very affable and convenient and a great storyteller. But I always got the impression, who's that picture of? I'll find out in a minute. I have no idea who any of those people are. Where's the... Is there a thing that says... maybe we'll find the legend somewhere. There was something hidden. He was funny and gregarious, but at the same time, he was quite shy and private. Working with Steve, with Michael Steve, has created an effective but unflinching portrait of the complex character. Nicholas fought against depression all his life, and maybe we can put that down to his lack of parental love. His mother left home, his family home when he was 2 years old. His sister was educated in America. He was brought up in boarding schools. That's probably why he played Brigadier so well. He didn't really have any family connections. Along the way, we found out something very interesting. Oh, okay. About Nicholas's father. He adds, it's something we don't even think Nicholas knew about. You have to watch the program to find out more about it. Good tease. Bottom right, Michael McManus sent Nicholas Coulton's daughter, so he wasn't gay, and son, Bella and son, during filming of Splendid Chap. So this too, you got the 7 episodes. Commentary, Timothy Combe, Terrence Dix, Caroline John, Barry Letts, Peter Miles. I forgot Peter Miles was in that. Isolated Score, don't really care. What Lies Beneath, that's a good documentary. I really like that one. That's from the DVD. Going Underground, Design Video, Silurian, Color Silurian Overlay. On Target with Malcolm Hugh. Now and then, the ambassadors are coming soon. The ambassador's desk. New special features behind the sofa. Clean opening, closing titles. They put that on other Blu-rays. Oh, this is probably the season 7 one, slightly different. Come back. Trails and continuities. Photo gallery. I don't care. Production. Okay, so then we got the cave monsters. Looking for Mac and Splendid Chap. Okay, but this 3 sounds pucker. Right? This 3 sounds pretty darn good. Ambassador of Death, the much maligned Ambassador of Death. Oh, so it's Sophie Aldred with what's the name? Sarah Sutton and Janet Fielding. There you go. The most Quatermassy of the episode of the season, I think. Well, you could say that about Inferno. No, this is the most Quatermassy one. Fine. So their third season, the third story in season 7 has acquired a dubious reputation as one of the biggest restoration nightmares of the whole archive. Interesting. Actually, I remember reading about this. The broadcast master of the Ambassador's Death episode 1 survives, but the DVD subsequent 6 episodes were represented from a 60-minute black and white film with color superimposed from the US video recordings. The DVD looked better than we hoped for, but things have taken a significant step forward for the new Blu-ray. Ambassadors is a complete rest. I'll tell you, again, every time I see Pete Mateek's name, I'm very torn because I think he's a really talented guy who's very passionate about Doctor Who. I just think he's in the wrong time and place. Oh, Pete, mate, if you ever do more on Doctor Who, less gay, less queer, I should say, less queer. Query restoration with evidence satisfaction, unless the original takes for episode 2 to 7 turn up, I think it's as good as it's going to be. Well, again, AI is doing incredible things. At the time, I was fairly pleased with the Blu-ray look. So Peter Cocker, but now we started working on the Blu-rays. I took another look at DVD masters and was shocked how awful they are. Okay, you could sugarcoat that a little bit. All we really had for the color in episodes 2 to 7 were off-air recordings. I think came from Calendar, but virtually none of them are any good. For the later Ambassador's restoration, we were lucky that the color recovery worked on all episodes. Episode 3 looked a bit borderline, and there was a huge amount of work to bring it into the same ballpark as episode 2 and 4 to 7. But we got there in the end. And again, it's such a dour story. I remember the cliffhanger where Liz is in was over some kind of dam or weir or something. I can't remember. But we got there in the end. It's fair to say Ambassadors is now closer to its original appearance at any point since it was showed in 66 or 67. Pete Mateek soon abandoned any idea of creating an ambitious omnibus edition for this strangely compelling serial. The first episode looked better than the others, and it's not a smooth ride as far as that's concerned. I can see that. I mean, you could downgrade the quality, I guess, but He says before adding variable picture quality is only part of the problem. It's possibly it's probably because the story was written by so many people. Ambassador is so twisty-turny that it's convoluted, and you can't actually cut a lot of it. Well, again, look, you saw what happened with the War Games when they cut that down to an hour and a half. It was unintelligible. It really was unintelligible. I mean, that's how I would describe it. If you go out too much, it doesn't make sense. I love Ambassadors, but it worked better in an episodic format. Steve Ross has synthesized Pete. Okay, it didn't let off the hook when it came to editing Ambassadors down for the celebrity viewers. Behind the Sofa series, it's Steve's responsibility to create the abridged versions of the special features for these special features. I wonder how long they have to watch them for, as it isn't something that anyone to sit through, sit through all 7 episodes. Yeah, I always wondered that. Like I've always wondered that. How are you going to get through that? There are only 4 stories in season 7, so Russell Minton. Martin said we need to cut them down to 50 minutes as opposed to the usual 45. Okay, so they normally get a 4-part story in 45 minutes. That's so much better than what I thought they were going to. Oh, man. That's how they do it. You can edit down a 4-parters quite easily. But when you get to 6 and 7-parters, it's harder to cut them back. in a way it still makes sense. I was quite pleased with the Silurians, and Ambassadors ended up being the highlights. But don't show it to us. Elsewhere, Martin Wiggins, that doesn't sound like a real name at all, does it? Has conducted forensic scrutiny of the Ambassadors and other season 7 stories for production subtitles. Oh, I never really watched those. I guess some people do, but I'm watching Doctor Who. I don't want to be busy reading about it as well. It's very intensive, he says. What you're doing is putting actual factual information where it's most relevant on screen. Now, yeah, we understand. I understand what they are, right? You don't have to explain it. You have to time everything so it fits. It doesn't cross a shot. It makes it so you can avoid it. Yeah, no, it's work. I understand. To make it neat, you have to write the words to fit particular constraints and timings. Which again, this is your job, mate. Don't give anybody the details of your job. It's boring, right? A lot of television history is written on a granular level. What's that mean? He continues, like a lot of is location, for example. In this scene, following this thing happening, you don't need the locator part for the sentence. You're just writing a text commentary because you're writing to a picture. That's officially. God, I'm so bored. I'm bored listening to how a feature that I don't really pay attention to is made. So he started on this in 2002, became the editor in 2007, and now it's what? 18 years later? My personal rule, which evolves several years into the job, is that you shouldn't do anything more than 30 seconds without sight. You shouldn't go more than 30 seconds without read on screen. All the production, oh God. Okay, you do production subtitles. I can't do that anymore. New features on the Ambassadors are relatively light compared to the other ones. We directed our resources to the rest. I guess we're not getting new effects because they needed them for the restoration. There's only one disc. Okay, I guess so. They are such a great combo. It's so weird how good Matthew Waterhouse and Katie Manning are together. It's a very strange combo. So what we got? The episodes restored. Audio. Come back here. Audio comedy with Nicholas Courtney, Terrence Dix, Michael Ferguson, Peter Halliday, Derek Martin, Roy Scammell, Derek Ware, moderated by Toby Adoki, making of Mars Pro 7. Michael Ferguson, Monster Masterclass, documentary originally included in the Caesar Death. That's interesting. BBC One trailer version in 1970. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking. I like the trailer for Spearhead from Space when they did the 2000s repeat, and didn't go on for long, right? That was a good trailer. Yeah, let me see if I can find that. Hang on. The YouTubes. Spearhead from Space trailer. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Pretty sure. Hang on. Let me download it. Pretty sure this is the one I'm thinking of. Let's be honest with you, I think.
Hey, help me!
Yeah, I really like this trailer.
Total destruction.
Also the Cunning Monkey. Fine. Where am I? Doink. So what we got here? What else we got? So the trailer, longer version. Photo gallery. Yeah, not much going on there. Not much going on. Final story. And I think probably one of the best, right? The Inferno was such a different type of story. We've really never seen anything like that before, right? The alternate universe thing. I think it really worked. Anyway, let's have a look what they have to say about it. The Mighty Inferno is widely held as one of John Poacher's greatest stories. Quite rightly so. I still prefer the Silurians, right? I really do. I prefer the Silurians. The Doctor's adventures in a parallel totalitarian version of Earth certainly helped to disguise the fact that this is another tale of staggering under the weight of 7 episodes runtime. Well, I believe that was Derek Sherman's idea to bring costs down. And I'll tell you, right, I really want to reiterate this. Let me pull this up. Trouble is the website always takes so long to bloody open up nowadays. Big Finish. I'm really, really, really surprised how much I'm enjoying this third Doctor release. The Quintessence, right? It's a stealthy Cyberman story, which is, again, I'm 4 episodes in out of 6 episodes, stonking. Like a really, really strong Cyberman story. Come back. And it's with the 10th Planet Cybermen as well, which I quite like. Inferno is a classic story. Is a classic, but there's a lot. Of repetition in it. That's fair, says Pete McTeague, who got the scissors out for a new omnibus edition. I will probably watch these omnibus editions more than I'll watch the series. Right? You see, another thing to try is Private One as a Primord. You don't necessarily need to devote as much time to things like that. There's also padding. For example, the Doctor's in the parallel world. We keep cutting back to the real world, which I felt we didn't really need the material. Yeah, again, he's really good at this. With the again, he took Silver Nemesis and made it into a watchable story. Right, I have nothing but respect for that. Genuinely, I don't. When we're in a parallel world with the Doctor, we should stick with him. When he gets back, you want to be with him. Not knowing what happened in the real world. Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. Edits like that are easy to save about 15 minutes. They're cut down to about 90 minutes. That sounds great. I think it really works for a Sunday afternoon. But I agree with you. No color recovery was necessary on these episodes because the restoration was based on the already impressive master of the 2013 DVD version, which itself was a 2-inch broadcast tapes. I have no idea what that means. These tapes were converted from the American NTSC system in the early 70s and returned to the BBC in the early 80s. Oh, really? Stop! We upscaled the special edition DVD master and a few more restoration passes. Says Peter Crocker. When I looked at it, I wasn't terribly happy with the film inserts. I felt sure we could get those inserts looking sharper, so I went back and re-restored them. Overall, it doesn't look far off the Power original. Power's the British broadcast system. Just a bit softer. I think a casual viewer will watch Inferno on Blu-ray. I think the quality is in the same ballpark as the episodes from the subsequent Pertwee seasons. Okay. I certainly will. I don't really notice this stuff. I love the brig with an eye patch. Oh. Following Inferno, a bonus disc includes Terror of the Suburbs. A documentary directed by John Clark and based on the idea by Doctor Who magazine's Simon Gurrier. What made Spirit of Space different in 1970 is not necessarily what we think, says Simon. Obviously, these were the first episodes made in color, but actually what marked Season 7 out from being completely different is that it's set on Earth. In addition, it does something that Doctor Who hadn't done before in previous years. It used location filming to give the stories some scale, weight, and spectacle. Again, that's all Derek Sherman. He knew what he was doing, Derek Sherman. They wanted to do a unit series in the 90s, I believe. If it was shooting in London, for example, it used landmarks to make things look bigger. However, Spirit of Space uses the high street in Ealing to make things look everyday. We're not even told it's Ealing because the point is it could be any high street. That's a theory we explore in the documentary. Other highlights on the disc include Lucky 13. This documentary, how real-life science of the day influenced Doctor Who, explained director Paul Versailles. I presented it with Robin Ince. Don't know who a lot of people know from the Infinite Monkey Cage Oh, I don't. I wrote the script tailoring it for him. Oh, good. That makes sense. I guess this is him. Do we have a, where's Legends of... hang on. Ian Levine. Robin, now that is Robin Ince, apparently. Okay. The titles are referenced near the real-life near-disaster Apollo 13 mission. Says Robin, we start off by looking... I guess that's what made the Ambassador of Death so compelling. Right? It was... When was that? Hang on. Ambassadors of Death. It's April 4th, 1970. Apollo 13. Oh, April 11th. Blimey. Oh, yeah, they lucked out there. Holy crap. So it was still running? Ambassador Death was running as Apollo 13 was going. First broadcast 21st. Oh, man. Apollo 13 happened right in the middle. They should have done a documentary about that. Well, I guess they just did. Yeah, I guess you did. We started looking at work at Kit Pedler, who took ideas he was reading in the Lancet and exaggerated them for Doctor and Doomwatch. Doomwatch is another one that the the people who do the collection should get to work on, right? I'm so glad they're doing more Blake 7. I think we're going to have seasons 2 and 3 out this year, right? Wouldn't it be great if we had seasons 2, 3, and 4? Oh, I love those Blake 7 Blu-rays. But you know what? I would love them to do Dennis Potter, do a whole Dennis Potter range, right? There's so much you can do. You've seen Detective, Pennies from Heaven, Brimstone and Treacle. If you don't know what any of that stuff is, oh God, look it up. They're all fantastic, right? Not the Steve Martin Pennies from Heaven, the Bob Hoskins one. We talk about the demo of trying to save your life when you're in near zero gravity. Didn't translate well to a BBC budget, but God bless them. Not as badly as it did to Star Cops. Thank God they ended up on Moonbase by episode 2. Those wires were not good. One of the most science communications ever is James Burke. Comedy with James Burke. Certainly, as far as the television was concerned, we actually showed part of the broadcast he made in 1970 when everybody was waiting to see if Apollo 13 would make it back to Earth. We were used to seeing cliffhangers at the end of Doctor Who, but for the week during the broadcast of Ambassador's Death, there was a real space fact jeopardy in space. I know. I had no idea that at the same time. That is fascinating, right? Who's Matthew Speaks with that? Left. Writing a story, Subhara Das with Matters in the Terror of the Suburbs. And then again, Matthew Sweet is a total lovey, right? He's a total lovey, bought into COVID 100% and was kind of like evangelical and crazy. Oh, I forgot. I have to show you guys something after this, which actually ties in quite nicely. What was I up to? I totally forgot where I was. So, Jeopardy in space, man, crazy. Yeah, I was saying Matthew Sweet is a real kind of excruciating lovey. He's so good at this stuff, though. Generally speaking, when he's not talking about COVID, he's really, really interesting. When he's talking about COVID, you're like, oh, shut up. Give it a rest, mate. Give it a rest. No more. Where we are. So fine. Paul Sassai also directed an interview with John Levine. As great choice for an interviewee. Conversation serious. Even then, established Levine, Sergeant Benton as a regular cast member, and he's formed a close relationship with the show's leading man. Wait. We've had, what other seasons? We haven't had season 11 out yet. We've had 9, 10, and 11. So who's left that hasn't done an interview from the Poetry Years for the season 11 set? They've done Katie Manning. Caroline John's dead. Liz Sladen's dead. John Pertwee's dead. Nicholas Courtney's dead. is Mike Yates even in season 11? I think he is. Right? That's where he redeems himself by heroically throwing himself between the legs of a brontosaur or something. We were. Probably what's his name? Richard. What's his name? Mike Yates, whoever played him. So John Pertwee was very important to him, and there's a lot about it about Pertwee there that I think we don't really talk. He hasn't really talked about it before. He has actually talked very candidly about his relationship with John Pertwee on other releases. Right, John did a lot of things on television other than Doctor Who, and he discovers that too. He can be quite opinionated. I wouldn't describe him as a gentle soul, but he's someone I've got a lot of respect for. He was nearly in tears in the documentary about Delgado. That's from the DVD, I think. There's something very distinct about season 7, says Pete McTee, reflecting on the collection box set. One of my favorite seasons in all of Doctor Who. Okay, so what do we have left? We have not the black and white ones. We have we got 7, 8, 9, 10. We need season 11, 11 and 13. We have 14, 15. Okay, so we have 11, 13, and 16. Then we have 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. And then we have season 22. Is it season 22? Yeah. See, we have season 22, which was, and then season 23 was Trial of the Time Lord. Season 24, 25, 26. Yeah, okay, so we got it's 7. There we got, was it 11, 12, 16, 21. I reckon the next one won't be 11. I'm going to say either 16 or 21 will be the next box set released. Because I think they're holding back 13 for the last one, because that's a very strong season. And they held it back. And the last one they released, last DVD I think they released in the regular range was what's it called again? Sutek. Pyramids of Mars. Oh god, that was painful. So maybe it was the mirroring of that. Okay, so we have disc 5. Can you hear the screen, the documentary? I like that. Deleted scene from episode 5. Okay. Inferno introduction from the Pertwee years. I love those years tapes. Right, that was a really weird thing that John Nathan Turner did. Behind the Sofa, yeah, we more episode 5, the extended 71 overseas version. Okay, including the deleted scene. So this is new features, clean opening and closing. That we already had that. Season 8 Blu-ray trailer. Okay. Draft scripts, Doctor Who and the Mole Bar. The Mole Bar? Is that for is that for this story? About Inferno? Fine. So Inferno existing special features is reverse standards conversion of all 7 episodes as they really appeared on DVD. That's just totally worthless. I'm sorry. That's just a space filler. That's really genuinely. I think that's absolutely like what for? We've already got a much higher quality version that isn't the original on season. Like I don't get it. Here's a slightly lower quality version that wasn't originally aired. Carry On, The Life of Caroline John. Yes, that's on the Spirit of Space Blu-ray. That was actually really good. Haddock versus Havoc, a documentary. That was good as well. This is all from, I think, this is all from the DVD, right? That's basically Blu-ray. But I remember Haddock versus Havoc. That was a really fun one. Unit Power Man Part 1 documentary. Yeah, this is so this is all existing stuff. BBC Effects Department promo film. And then Inferno and Omnibus edition. I bet that's good. So new feature, Pterosaurs, Lucky 13, Rockets and Alien Spore. I'm going to watch that. That looks pretty fun. John Levine in conversation, Matthew Sweet, Studio Clocks, Panopticon Archive. I love it. And you can see the Blake 7 range. They just don't have the same breadth of material. right? They put stuff on from a bunch of collections. The collection season 7 trailer, an escape room Third Doctor with Daisy Ashford, Katie Manning, and Sadie Miller. That's a really weird combination, but good for them. I'm glad they're basically the only people who could do it still. So anyway, it's sold out from what I understand on Amazon. Let's have a look. I'll take audio copy now, but I think it's too late. I'll do Doctor Who Season 7 Blu-ray. Is it? I think it's there. They have it. It's in stock, right? Yeah. I honestly, I would invest in this sooner rather than later because these things just vanish, right? These things, just vanish very, very, very quickly. And then coming out, when is this? It's also this month. I'm so not interested. Like, I'm so deeply not interested in this. Artwork not final. Well, you could have fooled me. Yeah, this looks like shit. It looks like it's going to be shit. Oh, sadly, what can I tell you? Joys of the World, not much for me, right? Not for me. By the way, again, here, I just want to show you the Third Doctor thing I'm listening to, which is actually really, really good. I rank on Doctor Who's on Big Finish stuff all the time, so when I can say something I like, I'm really happy about it. Stingray, what was it? It was a Quintessence. No, this is the month before this. See, this is how far back it went because I just I'm like enough already. Got so bored with this stuff. No, not there. Let's try January, maybe. Try that again. January, is it there? No. Fine, let's go back to October. There it is, yes. So I didn't even bother listening to this free first episode of it because I was like, it's a really solid story. Who wrote this? Stuart Pingle and Laura Mooney. It's got kind of a very different kind of vibe to it, and I don't know why they didn't. I mean, they spoil that it's a Cyberman story in the episode they release, but it's really I very much like this. I like Tim Trelaw's Third Doctor. I think it's very good. Right, I think they should cosplay him as but that's the last one, and it was awful. The Return of Jo Jones. Oh, woke crap. Honestly, I think they could very easily cosplay him into looking like the third. Put a wig on him. He's got the nose close enough. Have a shave. But honestly, I think he does a good job. I really genuinely think he does a good job. Oh, this one was great. The Annihilators. This is worth the $25.40, right? It really was very, very good. Anyway, so that's Third Doctor goodies, right? Third Doctor goodies for your delight and delectation. So big recommend, right? My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.